Healthy Rebel Radio is sponsored by the Healthy Rebel app. 300 plus secretly healthy, delicious, mouth-watering dessert and treat recipes made with all-natural, whole food ingredients. Now available for download on the App Store and Google Play. Find out more details at healthyrebel.com.
Welcome to Healthy Rebel Radio. I'm your host, Dr. David Dyser. I'm here with my Damie Health Healthy Rebel co-founder, Amy Lane. Good morning.
Good morning.
That bread, though. Oh, my goodness. I feel like, I have to say this. I make the best bread there is.
You're a great bread maker.
No one makes better bread than I do.
No, you're a really good bread maker.
I can put the ingredients in the machine. I can press the buttons. And 4.5 hours later, there you have it.
You use that bread machine like no other.
No. Oh, my gosh.
There's no one else.
I'm obsessed. It's official.
It's a great loaf.
I'm making this loaf called a Maritimer loaf. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's an East Coast thing. It's like just brown bread with molasses, really. And oats.
Vegan.
Yeah. So delicious.
It's really good. It's a treat. I don't usually eat it.
Yeah. But yesterday I did the lemon loaf too.
You went crazy. I didn't have the lemon loaf because it had eggs in it.
This month has just been insane. We've been just working every single day for the month of March, and it's going to continue for the next 2 weeks. So I had an afternoon off yesterday and made some bread and made some lemon loaf and then enjoyed it. And
you did. You did everything around the house. You took your day off and... Really?
Well, I had to catch up. It's just been crazy. And this leads us into today's topic. Today's episode topic is how to avoid burnout in those situations where you absolutely have to work like crazy.
It's not easy.
Right. Or the situations where you have to be in a stressful or anxiety-inducing situation for a long period of time, and there's just no way around it. What do you do?
It's not easy.
It's not easy, no, but we've been in it multiple times.
But the only reason I think that now we're decent at it is because we've burnt out.
We've been through the lows of it, yes. Absolutely.
I think we hit rock bottom and then we're forced to find something different. A different way of handling it.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason I want to do this episode today is so that we can share some of those tips. We've been through situations where, military college, this was a constant struggle for me. Just the cycle of work.
No sleep.
Just crazy amounts of work, and then a little bit of time off. How do you prevent sickness? How do you prevent your lifestyle from going down the drain? How do you keep your mood balanced? How do you do all these things? And then we've done it with the start of our business. We've done it with the launch of products. We've done it over and
Med
over.
School.
Then again in graduate school, of course. So we've been through it many, many times.
And then in times of, when we've faced tragedy with family members passing away or being sick for long periods of time.
That's another example.
That was a different
right.
type of stress that really, you can't escape that one. And that was a really difficult one to navigate as well.
Definitely. You go through, 2 to 4 to even 6 weeks of just every day. That's all you talk about. It's all you think about.
Well, and for us, we had someone in our family chronically ill for 5 years. So it was very challenging for my whole family. 5 years of...
mentally, emotionally, and physically exhausting. Everything.
It is.
So how do you get through that? What do you do to navigate those times? I'd like to start today with some of the things we've been doing this month, because this is really a pretty good example of getting through one of these times without suffering from burnout.
Definitely.
We're on the edge, but it's
but nowhere near like what we used to be.
No, of course.
It's on the edge of, as in, once a week we text each other and are like, okay, we need a vacation, we should plan it.
Right, for sure. And that's the first point. When you're going into a period of like this, or if you've just been thrown into it, you need to plan something for the end. That's not like just a random spontaneous binge drinking because you finally reach the end. It's got to be something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
So what we normally do and what we're doing this time is we've planned a weekend at a cabin.
Right.
And I think that's really important to have like a light at the end of the tunnel.
For sure. And for us, that contrast of, you know, buzz, 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 highly connected. You know, a lot of what we do is connected to social media and just being connected to the world. So then when we have that thing to look forward to that is a complete disconnect, going to a cabin, being completely in nature, there's no Wi-Fi where we go, it's a real treat to look forward to.
Oh, is it ever? And it takes a little while to adjust, but it's really important to, for us, it's that separation.
Right, and it forces us to connect and then to, you know, read, and we go to bed when it gets dark. Yes. And wake up when the sun comes up. It's, you know, we're not pushing our bodies in any way. We're just actually getting back into the natural rhythms. Mm-hmm. And for us, that's really worked. And in the past, we did it the wrong way. We used to, you know, plan like a big going out party and go drink.
Exactly.
It was terrible.
And I think that's the real difference in terms of planning for the end of these times. One is, for us, and I think this is going to be applicable to most people, planning something where you're disconnecting. Planning something where it's not, I have to be here and do this and do that. And that's what my us even as well. That's what it used to be like. You're right. We plan, okay, well, now we're going to do this, this, and this, and it's going to be really fun. Yeah. And there's so much pressure around that.
Yeah. And we have to be here at this time, and we're going to do this thing, and it was just...
And it's fine to have vacations like that, just not at the end of a potential burnout situation.
Yeah, a really intense time. I think seeking contrast is a great idea. It's really worked for us. Yes. Because it nurtures the other side. And it feels so much more indulgent than a crazy, you know, vacation after being... But we really prioritize now slowing down and connecting with ourselves. That's something that we deeply understand is important on all levels now. Mm-hmm. And not staying high all the time. Right. We really respect that we have to slow down and connect with ourselves and with each other and with nature, and get back into like letting our own thoughts come in.
Absolutely.
You know, instead of being bombarded.
And for that, you need a full physical environment separation.
Really, for us, we do, because here, if we stay home, the biggest challenge we've had is that you get sucked into work the sneakiest ways. Mm-hmm.
Especially with a home office and a home business.
Right. Or like all of a sudden you're just surfing on the internet, reading stuff, and you don't even realize that maybe, you know, it's giving you anxiety, or you're just wasting time. Like, the stuff on the internet's going to be there. Mm-hmm. Exactly. You know?
It's so true.
And for me, too, when we go to the cabin, I feel like I'm, you know, nourishing my cells. You know, that fresh air out in nature and getting away from the bombardment. Not only do I feel like it's mentally healthy and rejuvenating, I feel physically healthy and rejuvenated.
Yeah, it's really a rebuilding phase. I mean, if you planned a vacation where it's go, you know, partying and that sort of thing, you're going to be it's going to take a physical toll at the same time, where this is supposed to be a time of rejuvenation.
And that's why a lot of people get sick after. They think it's because they've been under so much stress, but that's not the whole picture. It's that they're stressed, and you used to do this. Then you go and you drink a bunch of alcohol, you eat a bunch of crap, junk food, indulgent food, you stay up super late, and then you wake up and you're stuffed up and you don't feel good, and you're like, oh, you know, this time of stress, you know, really made me sick. But no, it's the combination of beating yourself up when you're already down, right?
Exactly.
Because we don't get sick now when we have these months where we have to just, like we used to.
I mean, that lemon loaf may take me down this week.
Oh, David,
but I think I'll be okay.
Don't eat it. Don't eat it.
No, you're
We've done
so
so
right.
well.
You're so exactly right. Preventing getting sick from the vacation even.
And that's the same as like people, I was reading this thing a while ago, and I know Tony Robbins talks about it all the time. Like, people in America think there's like, quote, flu season. But a lot of flu season has to do with, it starts right around Thanksgiving and runs to after the New Year. And it's not coincidental. It's because you're bombarding your body. You're staying up late. You're indulging in sugary drinks. You're eating heavy, way too much food and junk food. And you're lowering your whole immune system, and you're having a reaction.
Right.
So the best thing you can do is stay healthy. And that means not using food as a reward or alcohol as a reward. I mean, I'm not saying don't drink alcohol. But not using it as a reward or overindulging is freedom.
Oh, is it ever? And on the same topic, let's talk about the during the time when you're so busy, during the time when there's potential burnout, how important the quality of diet is. Because it's so easy during these times, for me especially, to just go and grab the easiest carbohydrate that I can find, in terms of pastries, quick meals, slices of pizza, all these things. It makes it so much easier to do the things that you have to do.
Well, you can rationalize it because you can say to yourself, well, you don't have time.
I don't have time, exactly.
But the fact of the matter is, we live in a time where I really don't have much patience for anyone saying they don't have time to grab a healthy food. Because really, we live in a time where you can grab hummus and vegetables. You can grab pieces of fruit. It's really easy.
Handful of nuts. I mean,
you can.
Leftovers from the night before. Like, there's just so many options.
You can, that's all really accessible.
Mm-hmm. And the importance of this during these times is, I can't say it enough, because you need the fuel.
And you don't want to beat yourself up while you're down. And that's something I kind of keep in my mind as a mantra. Because I get it. Like, 2 days ago, I could have sat down with a tub of ice cream and cried just because I'm just so tired. I haven't seen my husband in a month. This seems like torture. It's been raining here for a month. I physically didn't feel well growing this human. And, people were being aggressive, and I couldn't handle it. So, yes, it would have been, old Amy would have loved to turn to a tub of ice cream and drown her sorrows, but, it just doesn't make sense. Why would I do that to myself?
Well, it's not supportive of the end goal here.
It doesn't do anything beneficial for me. I'm going to feel like crap after. Learning to go to the after, like recognizing the after effect, just in your mind, like, oh, how would this make me feel after? How would I feel after I sit down and eat this tub of ice cream in my sweat clothes? Mm-hmm. Oh, I feel like crap and wish I didn't do it. Right. Well, if you go there, then you can pick the new option. Mm-hmm. Maybe I should lift weights. I haven't lifted weights this week. The same time that it would take me to sit down and eat this tub of ice cream, maybe I should lift weights, just push myself to do it. You change the whole course of your day. Mm-hmm. And you're in charge. I know that sometimes we start to think that we're not in charge. We are always 100% in charge. And the more you make powerful choices for yourself, the easier it becomes.
In these times, you still have choice. You
always have choice.
Right. You can still make decisions. Like right now, I'm working, 12 to 14, sometimes 16 hours a day for at least 30 days. And there are times throughout the course of the day when choices do arise where you can, they can be detrimental. Yes. Food is this first one. Exercise is the next one. You have 15 minutes. No, it's not enough time to do a full cardiovascular or whatever. But you can pick up the weights.
Well, what I do, and I didn't really explain this. I talked about it a couple days ago. Is I take my workouts from the Bikini Body program, which I've been doing for almost 8 years. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't count.
I can't count.
I can't. For a long time. Mm-hmm. And what I do is I break it up through the day. So I don't have a consecutive hour or hour and a half where I can do this workout. Okay, I let that go. I don't beat myself up about it. It's all right. So what I'll do is I'll bring the workout up on my computer. And every time I go to the washroom, I do one set of the weights. So I call this the all-day workout because sometimes it'll take me all day to do the workout. Mm-hmm. But I do it. Yes. And it's better than nothing.
Is it ever actually... I read some research last week about how good it actually is for you. It's excellent for you.
Yeah, and it works. It keeps me lean. It keeps my muscle tone, keeps me feeling mentally and physically more alert, and it makes me lead to better healthy choices. If I was like, well, I don't have this hour and a half consecutively, I might as well do nothing. Mm-hmm. Then I'm more likely to choose the thing, well, if I'm doing nothing, might as well get my sweats on and eat this tub of ice cream and feel sorry for myself because there is reasons to feel sorry for myself. And that's the other thing. We all have reasons to feel sorry for ourselves. If you've made it to 30 years old in this world, it's the probability of you going through some really hard stuff is high. So I'm not demoting anything that anyone's going through. This is about surviving it and then thriving it. Mm. No matter what else is going on outside, You can stay a certain level of happy. You can stay a certain level of calm, no matter what kind of storm is happening.
Mm-hmm.
But it's these simple steps that sound just trivial that lead to you being a person that can't be blown by the wind.
Well, we've been talking about choices, and now we're talking about the all-day workout, and how these two go together is when you do this all-day workout, not only are you boosting your metabolism, but you are releasing endorphins. You are lifting mood, and in lifting mood, you're right, it allows you to make more positive choices.
And I feel better about the circumstances. Because like I said, in these 30-day stretches where we have to work so much, and I'm not seeing you, and we're not doing anything fun, you know, it's all work, that's it, I can get really sad. Yeah. You know, I can get like, oh, what are we doing here? Why do we work so hard? What, like, you know, you start questioning your life choices. But on the days where I'm doing my workouts, they pass by. And they don't hook in. I don't feel sorry for myself. I feel more like I'm going to be strong for him.
Right.
So when he comes home exhausted, he can get energy from me. Like, I'm going to make this as good as possible. You get more into that service place instead of, you know, life is rough.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So it's really about finding these ways to insert healthy diet, you know, exercise within the amount of the allotted time frame that you have. For me right now, all I have is at the end of some work days, I'll have 15 minutes to jump on the bike at work.
Yeah.
I've been doing that. Last night, Sunday night, late, hit the weights for half an hour.
And one thing we try to prioritize together is we go for a walk as much as we can outside. And for us, walking isn't so much about physical exercise. It's about decompressing, connecting, and it's almost like a form of a spiritual relaxation and mental practice. We cleanse the day, and it's a powerful thing that's just really simple.
Yeah, I mean, you're so right. The way I wanted to lead into this, and this was absolutely perfect you bringing this up now, is throughout the course of these times, you need some sort of supportive routine that fits your lifestyle, that lifts you up. And for us, that routine is walking. I mean, our mornings have been thrown off this month. Our evenings have been thrown off this month. But one thing that's consistent, one thing that we don't miss, is getting out together for a walk. And yes, for most people that seems like, oh, you know, in my most stressful times, I don't have time for that. Well, that's something that we would never give up.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like
we
that.
Make it.
In these times, you have to pick something that is a routine for you that lifts you up. And that's what we've chosen, and that's what works for us.
And see, for us, we won't watch TV. We don't indulge, like, people will surf the internet or watch TV and have that, like, an hour a day. You can go for a walk instead. It's choices.
It is choices, and for us, that's absolutely more supportive.
Yes, we would way rather choose that. You know, and sometimes we have to motivate each other, but really, it's fuel. It's our fuel. The other thing I wanted to say just about eating, because sometimes I feel like people get really stressed out about food, and because we have access to so many beautiful recipes. I mean, obviously I'm a contributor to that world, but sometimes we forget that not every day has to be like a gourmet experience. Some days are just about fueling.
Right.
And when we go into times like this, our meals are less about, oh, Dave, I made this beautiful whatever. It's more like, here's some vegetables, here's some protein, here's some salad, go take this food. And that's fine. You know, like, we kind of get whiny and, like, so indulgent and, like, oh, I don't have time to make these beautiful meals. Like, well, who cares? Just throw things together and consume it that is healthy. Just for now.
Exactly. You just need fuel.
And then when you have time again, go into the fancy recipes. Like, we almost use food now as, like, entertainment, and, like, if it's not good enough, we just don't have time for it. It's bizarre to me. Because I love making beautiful meals for us. But at the same time, when, like, a month like this, I can't remember the last time we had a great meal. But it's okay. We're fueled, we're healthy, we're happy. And then the meals will come next month when we have time again.
No, that's a great point. It's helpful to remember.
We just get so dramatic.
Oh, definitely.
About the things that don't matter. You know, just eat the food.
Well, it brings it back to the fact that everything is a choice. Even though there are mandatory things happening during this period of time, you still have choices, and that's a positive choice you're making.
100%. Like, going into the drama of, oh, my meals aren't entertaining enough, is just completely unnecessary energy that could be fueled for something else.
Right, absolutely. So we were talking about routines, and for us, it's the walking. For some people, it's just having a cozy 10-15 minutes of tea time at some point in the day.
Yeah.
For others, it's this nighttime routine that is supportive of their good sleep cycles. You have to have something in the day, whether it's 5 minutes or 30 minutes, that you can look forward to even in these times.
And if you have 5 minutes and you're in a very stressful situation, my number one recommendation would be, as soon as you wake up after you use the washroom, go into your sacred space or wherever that is for you and do whatever spiritual practice you do.
Yes.
No matter if you're busy, that's when you need your spiritual practice.
That's when you need the most, for sure. For sure. I mean,
it can be shortened.
Your segues are excellent, because that is a really good segue to the final point here.
What?
I was going to say, we have obviously tons and tons of supplementation that can be supportive of, going through these really stressful times. There's lots of naturopathic things you can do, but the final thing I wanted to end with that is extremely important is mindfulness. Being in the moment, practicing something that's larger than yourself. It can be anything, but focusing on the now and focusing on what's exactly in front of you. And like you said, some people's routine can be supportive of this, where it's the 5 minutes in the morning.
Definitely.
You want to focus on being absolutely in the moment.
Which is really easy to say. You're going to have a higher chance of that happening if you do your 5 minutes, if you only have 5 minutes, your 5 minutes of spiritual practice in the morning. Mm-hmm. It sets the tone. It leads your day. I promise, once you get into it, it shifts everything. Mm-hmm. And it's really easy. I just last week I was having a really just stressful day, and things were kind of spinning out, and I was just kind of like, what is going on? And I checked in with myself, and I completely forgot my morning practice. I thought, what the? So I just dropped everything, and I just went and took 2 minutes.
Yeah. And what kind of things would you do in those 2 minutes if you only had those two?
Well, for me, I do, I'll just sit down and take some deep breaths and connect. So I'll just drop in, I call it. Like, you get in the zone. And obviously no electronics, no bombardment in my area. And for me, I'll probably journal, because I like that. You can just sit and do it, but for me, the physical writing is a release. So I'll just go into gratitude. So I'll list things I'm grateful for, and then it'll roll in, and then sometimes I'll say a prayer and just end it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that helps you stay in the moment.
Oh, it changes everything. I feel like I just changed my status right now.
Just
talking about it.
Right.
Because your mind starts rolling into, and sometimes we don't have much, we quote, I'm air quotes, don't have much to be grateful for. We always do, but we think we don't. So, just if you can go in there, and sometimes it's as simple as, I'll be grateful that I have somewhere safe to live. Mm-hmm. Grateful that I woke up this morning.
Right.
Grateful that I have a bed. Grateful for my dogs. I'm so grateful for my dogs. I think they're little angels. Mm-hmm. And I go into that. Grateful that I, live where I was born. Mm-hmm. The freedom that I have as a woman today. Just those types of things. You can always find something. And then you can get into...
Yeah, I love that. I think that's really awesome. Mm-hmm. And I see how supportive it is of your well-being.
Yes.
Yeah, so nice. So this final point is really mindfulness. You can use gratitude exercises. For me, it's letting the thoughts of how hard and stressful the moment is, how much I've recently been through, and how much longer I have to go, letting them fade away and focusing on how important it is to be in the moment right now, especially, with any absolute situation in these circumstances, whether it's planning for a project or sitting with a patient. Being absolutely, completely dedicated to being your highest self in the moment will help you get through in a positive way, and you'll thrive at the same time.
It's so true for you, because I feel like you used to, because you have had so much on your plate for so many years, And I think you used to more be like, okay, right now I got to do this, then later I have to do this, and then later this week I have to do this, and you
when you're counting down the days and you're just punishing yourself.
But you are so good now at just handling right now today.
Well, I had to work on it, and I think these things are all supportive of it.
But I get overwhelmed looking at your schedule, and you don't now. That's how good you've become at it. I'll be like, you have to do what this week? You have to go where this week? You have to also go there? You have to do this? And I'll be like, my heart will start to flutter, and Dave's like, yeah, but just, one thing at a time.
Moment by moment.
Yeah, you're really good at that.
When you're going through these times of stress and potential burnout, you have to prevent going into adrenal fatigue and wearing out the body and getting sick. I mean, you have to do...
Yes, because the recovery is just so hard.
Well, it can take twice the amount of time, sometimes longer, depending on how far you go down. So we talked about diet, we talked about exercise, building a positive routine, planning a vacation that is supportive of your highest good, and finally staying in the moment as much as you can.
And I will say that if you're doing all these things and you're still having a hard time dealing with any amount of long-term stress, after working with David, I did have adrenal fatigue. I did burn out. I did go there. And then after working with David, it changed everything. You set me up with proper supplementation, and I needed that on top of, to get out of where I was, out of that actual burnout, and to reset my body rhythms and heal. I needed those things. That whole routine. For sure, and many people do. Yeah, so don't be afraid of, and I highly recommend going to a naturopath. Oh my gosh, getting support really is that extra step to thrive and be optimal, especially when it comes to optimal health, optimal wellness. When you need it, do all these things first. But if you recognize you're suffering and you can't, you're not, you want to feel better. It's amazing what a couple natural things. It's amazing what they can do. Definitely. It really is. I love it so much. Yeah, it's a miracle. And then you don't have to stay on it. I recovered, and then I don't have to do any of that. So. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. That's Healthy Rebel Radio for today. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day. See you. Healthy Rebel Radio is presented by the online health and wellness center, DamiHealth.com. Since 2009, Amy Lane has successfully coached thousands of women through her signature program, the Bikini Body Program. Join today to work exclusively with Amy to unveil your greatest yet to be from the inside out. Go to DamiHealth.com for more information. Thank you for listening to Healthy Rebel Radio. Please connect with us on our community pages on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, all at the handle @DamiHealth. For weekly recipes, articles, and all our episodes straight to your inbox, join our newsletter at damihealth.com. You can find all the links discussed in today's episode in the show notes. Thank you for joining us, and see you tomorrow.